Hey everybody, this is the Street Mug celebrating Christmas month with my new little hat. Hope you guys like it. I enjoy it. It's kind of fun. Sets up a fun time for the season. Hey, I was just going to follow up on my politics videos. And a guy the other day was, I think he was fooling with me, but made a statement about how Trump is unconstitutional. He wants to get rid of the Constitution. So I right away knew something's wrong with that because I followed Trump for the last, 6 years, and he wouldn't say anything like that. But I did look it up on my on the phone, the internet, and I was just shocked by all the far leftist media and propaganda tool that is pushed onto us on our phone and the internet. It was crazy. And I think I found only about 3 or 4 out of like 50 news sites, possibly just giving him a fair criticism, fair criticism. And the other guys on the news were horribly corrupt, and they're just liars. I've just been following them through the years, and they just lie crazily. Well, anyways, I think it all starts with Google, YouTube, CNN, all these guys, even Yahoo News, very negative about Trump. It seems like the far left has full control over the news people, the magazines. We know they're in the platforms already. They're pushing on the platforms, and Elon Musk now owns Twitter, and they're after him. And they hate him, and they hate Trump. And anyways, all those are guilty of this propaganda, which is Marxist. That's how Nazi Germany began. And it's interesting how the leftists are the first one to cry out, this is communist, boom, boom, boom. But they themselves are leading in that. It just boggles my mind how much these people, these individual groups lie. And they must believe it. So there is evil out here, and it's just hides itself, it shields itself, from the truth. But anyways, these guys are the guilty ones that I found. Of course, Google's ahead of the game, YouTube, Yahoo News, CNN. Many times out of like 50 or 60 news sites, I think 4 were just neutral. The rest were the same groups times 3 times 4. I mean, I had to go through about 4, 5, actually more, maybe over 12 pages before I found anything resembling fair news. And let's see, once again, we got CNN, said number one, troublemaker of all times. YouTube follows up close, Yahoo News, Google, Politico, ABC News, CBS News, Chicago Sun-Times. We know that Democrats over there. The New York Times, many times the news came out by those guys. Axios, don't know much about Axios, but they gave a lot of negative stuff. The New Yorker magazines are also in this game. And it's, Trump has already announced he's gonna run for office for president again, and they're working overtime. I just can't believe how much garbage is out on him. And it's a movement of hatred, and it started back years ago under Obama and Hillary Clinton, in which they wanted to curtail free speech. I think it was held in the UN one time, where the Saudi Arabian princess asked to relax criticism of all the terrorism that they were creating, and they agreed to a form of censorship, was slandering. They were with the Clinton administration, Hillary Clinton, and then were okay with slandering, bullying, and using all sorts of other methods to quiet people down. And it's still used today. It hasn't been stopped since Obama. So anyway, the Washington News, I mentioned New York Magazine, the New Yorker, Atlantic, Guardian's pretty bad. New York Magazine, ACLU took a jab as well. Wall Street, Forbes, Newsy. I don't know who Newsy is, but they weren't positive. YouTube again, Al Jazeera. Of course, we know it's an Arab group. USA Today, leftist. MSNBC News, leftist. NDTV, don't know who they are, but they were critical. BBC, National Review, Snopes, Vanity Fair magazine, Rolling Stone magazines, People magazine, New York Daily News, Amazon. I forgot about Amazon.com too. Anyways, and I looked up more information about him saying something about the Constitution. I came across a news site back in 2020 under, I think it was here. It was he did a talk on this one group, remarks by the White House Conference of American History. You know, it was the first time I crossed that site, but all he talked about is how he loves America. This is back in 2020, how he loved America. He loves the people. You know, he wants to protect our children. Nothing but good things came out, and how he also spoke about how the leftists are trying to destroy America, and they're using the news as a propaganda tool, fraud, rioting. They're just, he mentions the far left destroying the U.S. as we know it. And we know, you know, 2 years later, they're doing a really good job destroying what a really good, strong Christian nation. You know, Biden mentions Build Back Better, and the New World Order is not too far away, and that's exactly what they're trying to do, destroy the U.S. as we know it. And because he spoke out in the past, and he must have spoke out recently, I couldn't find more like a comment he made within a day or two that triggered all this over the internet, because it was just so inundated with this just far radical left, you know, news. It just flooded it. I couldn't find anything for 12, 13 pages, so I just gave up. But I did find a really good site, and he really loves democracy. And I've followed him through the years. He speaks really well. He's an intellect. He's a Christian. You know, yeah. In the past, he's had his problems, and so have we. But he speaks really well of our nation, our Christian society. You know, patriot. He's a patriot. And he loves our nation, and all these people are just jumping on top of him, beating on him, and it's just an emotional attempt by the radical left to shut him down, and it's working. All these negative stuffs are hitting the airwaves, and like my friend the other day came by and said, "Hey, you know, well, you know, he's against the Constitution," and it's so far from the truth. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Running out of time, so I thought I'd share that with you. Trump is a patriot. He loves the United States. He loves his people, loves Christianity. He loves family. So nothing wrong with that. Far left, they so much into lying, and they have a stronghold of newspaper, magazines, platforms, and everything. So we're in a rough time. Keep your prayers going, and follow the truth. Don't follow the lies that are so far out there, and then plenty too. So anyway, take care. We'll see you later. 3 months is bye.